It is truly hard to believe that this overly popular cartoon is now just getting its first feature-length film. I can't believe that. But nonetheless, it's one to watch, and we're going to get into the review of Miraculous, Ladybug and Cat Noir, the movie. What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the channel today for another review. And today we're going to be reviewing the new film Miraculous, Ladybug and Cat Noir, the movie, coming to Netflix July 28th. Now listen, this is an overly popular IP. I mean globally popular as well. And to be honest, with so much content from series and short movies and all those sorts of good things, tons of merch, a ton of folks cosplay as a bunch of the characters within this franchise, that I can't believe that they're just now getting this feature-length film. But it's okay, better late than never, right? And yes, Miraculous, Ladybug and Cat Noir is coming to Netflix July 28th. And everywhere you look, you're gonna find Ladybug and Cat Noir. Whether it is Netflix or Disney Plus, you're just gonna find this everywhere. And I was very excited to check this out because, I had dabbled into it a little bit, so I know a little bit about the story. But I'm always very interested when it comes to animated cartoons or animes that are getting feature-length films, because typically all of the production is heightened and you really do see voice actors getting their bag. Like, they up their ante. And then when you look at the cast, which if you already know the cast, then these are some of the best voice actors in the world, starting off with Bryce Papenbrook, who's Cat Noir, Christina V as Ladybug. I mean, keep looking down the list. Zeno Robinson as Nino, Grant George as Kim. I mean, there's a lot of different folks that are involved with this franchise that you just on paper alone, you're just like, yeah, I need to go check that out. And for sure, it doesn't let down. But in this movie, this does go back to the roots of everything Ladybug and Cat Noir. This is about Marinette and just her ordinary life in Paris, where she does struggle with confidence and there's a little bit of bullying going on, but she's artistically great. She has a certain future for sure. She's surrounded by her loved ones, got her family and whatnot. But yeah, she somehow struggles on her confidence. And I say that kind of looking into the situation, like, I don't see how. Like, she's thriving, but it is what it is, and she's in the pivotal time of her life. And with that, she sets her eyes on a handsome gentleman in Adrian, who she's just head over heels for this guy, but little did they know that their life was going to completely change, because one normal day turns into a day where they both become superhumans, superheroes at that. And they are certainly chosen by these mythical jewels, the Miraculous, which grants their hosts, or the humans that they pick, the super abilities, as whatever the theme of whatever the jewel is, in which in this case Ladybug, she gets earrings, she becomes Miraculous Ladybug, and then Cat Noir gets a ring and he becomes a cat. And there's some other folks, but they don't really explore that just yet. But yes, and then their whole thing is to stop the threat of this new super villain that was unleashed, that has been unleashing chaos into the city. And this super villain here, I gotta say, Hawkmoth, he's voiced by Keith Silverstein. His motives is that he wants to bring his wife back, and he needs the powers of the Miraculous from Ladybug and Cat Noir to do so. And he's going to stop at nothing to do that. But yeah, in order to save Paris, well, Ladybug and Cat Noir will have to step up to eliminate the threat. At the same time, too, they're trying to figure out their powers. They're trying to figure out their one another. There's also a little bit of love interest between the two of them. And it's cool, and I think it's a really good story. Kind of talk about the production a little bit. The animation is definitely heightened from what you see from the weekly series or cartoons that you see available. And by all means, that's my biggest thing, as I mentioned. Like, when it comes down to animated cartoons and In anime, like when you go to feature-length films, they always up the ante, and this one just looks beautiful. I love the animation in this. They do add some musical performances in this, and yes, it certainly feels like a musical where these songs are just being thrown in there out of nowhere, and it's kind of like, ugh, I don't like musicals, so that's just that. But yeah, they definitely throw those in there, and they're okay, I guess. I did like the new rendition of the popular theme song that you hear in the beginning of every episode. And listen, I'm not afraid to say that this theme song is so catchy that you might catch yourself humming it in random places and random times. And certainly, yes, that's me. Um, and I think the other really big things about it is that like the story gives you the origin story. And with the origin story, like you don't have to have watched any of the seasons or any of the short movies. You can actually come into this really brand new. It's a very good standalone film, and you learn about the history, the stakes, these characters, their involvement, their connections. Like they certainly do, get you acclimated to this very popular IP. And I think that what's special about that is that much like, other animes like Jujutsu Kaisen, like you go back to the roots and have people start at the beginning so that when you start here, then you want to explore all the other additional content that's available. So yes, you want to go back and watch the series. You want to go back and watch these other special short films that they have with them and whatnot. And I think beyond that, you end up wanting to really get invested into it. And I think that's a really good measure in terms of if you're going to do a feature-length film, especially with a IP or a cartoon, whatever, that, yes, this franchise is very popular, but like that doesn't mean that you can't invite new folks to watch. And with a platform such as Netflix, you want to try to get as much eyes and attention as possible. So like this was absolutely the right decision to go. And yes, there is this love element in it from Cat Noir and Ladybug, and then from Adrian and Marinette. But like, yeah, it's not. And while there is a focus of how love like triumphs everything, it's not really like the biggest element of it. Truly, there's good action. There's good. I love like the script, so like there's good banter and there's a little bit of humor in there as well too. It's easily watched for somebody that like, trust me, I was not going out the way to look for this. Somebody who had it and kind of stumbled into this. I've been enjoying it. I don't think there's absolutely any reason why somebody who had never heard of this but somehow land on this review or see this queued up in on their Netflix to not check this out. I think it's a really, really a good franchise, and I think this movie has a lot of potential of things to come forward. So yeah, it's certainly a cute movie. It's a great standalone, great animation. The score is really, really cool. The plot is simple. There is a credit scene which certainly leads and hints to more to come. But nonetheless, I think like, this film, and I also, one other thing too, this film, Miraculous Ladybug and Cat Noir, the movie, which was once titled Ladybug and Cat Noir Awakening. Yes, they are the same movie. I think this was certainly the right way in terms of naming the films. Like, Miraculous is a big part of this, and you have to make sure you know what that word is and know what that word means and know what the miraculous are. I think this is very much a very good way, instead of like Awakening, which really, I get it, like Awakening in terms of like it being the origin story and whatnot, right? But like I think this was definitely the better naming choice here. And listen, this is my last thing. This story about Marinette is absolutely the roots and like the structure of like a Disney princess. Like, by all means, while this is not a Disney property, this certainly feels like she is the next inductee into the Disney Princess Hall of Fame. Like, she just the humble beginnings and just the lack of confidence and just the other things around her, and then you really focusing on the power of love, and then eventually becoming like a superhero and not only having to protect Paris but protect the world. I think like it's really, really cool, and I absolutely suggest that folks check this out. This is definitely one that may not have been on your things to watch list, but I'm here to say like you certainly should check it out. And it's very family friendly for all ages, for everybody. There's a little bit of something for everybody in this, and fantastic voice acting. You look at the cast again, the cast is just overly stacked. bunch of popular names. Like, I think Zeno's like my favorite voice actor, just to keep it 100. I really do love Bryce as well too. He voices one of my favorite characters from Final Fantasy, Noctis. So like, I've just always been a fan of his for a while. And the list just goes on and on. There's so many other folks I could just name. Max is a part of this. There's a lot of folks involved with this. The English voice acting cast is stacked here, and Christina V as your lead. She's just a special talent. Not only she's just a fantastic voice actor, she's a phenomenal artist. So the musical performances are great. Although again, I'm not a person who loves musicals, but like, she holds a note, and the songs are cute, and then it just really makes these moments in the film, along with the animation and production, really special. So overall, listen, this film, go check it out, folks. And when you do, you get in the comments, you let me know your thoughts about it. Again, this is Miraculous, Ladybug and Cat Noir, the movie, coming to Netflix July 28th. Get in the comments, folks. Let me know your thoughts about it. And as always, stay tuned for more reviews very soon.